U Sports on CBC, presented by l'U Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, Fox Sporty, Theraburn Medical Supply, Les Bag Baron Rings, BioSteel, APAR, and by Steel Mazda.
From the Scotiabank Centre in Halifax, Nova Scotia, it's the 2026 U Sport University Cup, brought to you by the good folks at Steel Mazda. Tonight is quarterfinal number 4 as the UNB Reds, the 10-time national champs, play the Queens Gaels. It's a David versus Goliath situation. Does Queens have a big enough slingshot to take down the Reds? Peter Ruttgazer here along with Kevin Bixby. And Kevin, let's show you the bracket. What did you like this afternoon about the way the Pats performed against Moncton?
Well, I think the UQTR Pats came out today with a lot of confidence. They were a rested team. They were the only team that hadn't come in and practiced. And what they did was executed their game plan for a full 60 minutes today. They never gave Moncton a chance to get their offense going because they were putting pucks deep, winning battles in the corner, and they were able to capitalize first on the board, and then they were able to capitalize second on the board, then third on the board, then fourth, and they never gave Moncton a chance to get their offense started today.
2 players you're looking forward to seeing here this evening, who would they be?
Well, the 2 players I'd like to focus on tonight for the Queens Golden Gaels is number 19, Nolan Hutchison. Nolan's a 5th-year Gael, former OHL player with the Sudbury Wolves, one of their leading point getters with 12 goals, 12 assists for 24 points, a big player at 6'4", and Nolan Hutchison scored the overtime goal to get the Queens Golden Gaels here. And for UNB, we want to have a look at number 13, Cody Morgan. If you think a vehicle needs a spark plug to get it going, that's Cody Morgan. He's the spark plug for the UNB Reds. Player got 18 goals and 22 assists, so 40 points this year. A 4th-year player, former OHL player with London and Flint and Windsor.
So those are the 2 players to pay close attention to. There you see it. Queens and UNB coming up. One more spot left for the semifinals in U Sports Hockey. Back with more on the other side.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan.
A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes. Borrow better with FIG.
There are those among us who never run away from problems. Instead, they run to them. When we never settle for the world that's been built, that's when we drive it forward, towards something better. Better outcomes for clients. And better futures for our communities. At Cushman & Wakefield, we believe better never settles.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back. Getting ready now for the fourth and final quarterfinal matchup here at Halifax, the 2026 University Cup. Let's show you the goaltenders for tonight. Tanner Wickware. If it wasn't for this young man, there's no way Queens would be here in the postseason. 6-2, 1.94 goals against average, and a .944 save percentage. And Remy Delafontaine, 5-1, 1.94 goals against average, and a .911 save percentage. Jesse Gore, Chad Ingles are the referees. Matt McConnell and Brendan Walker are the linesmen. So another big test here for Queens as you take a look at Rob Henniger and what a job he's done.
Rob Henniger's done a great job since taking over the UNB program following a long run by Coach Gardner McDougall.
So we're underway here. One more spot open for the semifinals. Here's Savoie. He's going to log a lot of minutes. Real reliable player on that back end for UNB. Wickware comes out of the net to play it. Here's Jack Duff, number 3. Watch for him. Duff and Renwick are the two mainstays on the back end here for Queens. Here's Duff. He can't hold the line. Renwick, he's been an offensive force from the back end. He has 3 goals, 3 assists in 8 playoff games. Tanner tried to get it deep as Queens, they make their first change of the night. Here's Cole Huckins. And now we got a whistle here and too many men on the ice. Not too sure what the whistle's all about, but anyways, we'll get an ozone face-off here for Queens.
You know, Peter, we've been talking about teams having to be very careful with that change with those benches in such close proximity. Guys coming off, guys going off. It's pretty tough right now. There's a lot of traffic there.
So a little bit of confusion at that bench. So it is too many men on the ice, and Cody Morgan will take the penalty. So great chance here for Queens to open up their account. Barnett tries to get it out of the zone. Centered out in front. There was a chance there, as that was Tanner lurking out in front. And now here's Mike Batizian, the Armenian strongman. Have to watch for him at all times, and there you see him going at Zlomyslik, and he will hit everything in sight. Down this near side wing, trying to get in there is Marburg. And now this is Baber. Baber taps it off the boards. He was trying to spring McPhee. Wickware comes out of the net to play it. 1:22 remaining in the man advantage. Perrick. He'll push it forward. Here's Marburg taking his time. Power play in the postseason for Queens at just 10.5%. 2 for 19. So it just tells you how much they have really depended on their defensive play and their goaltending to get this far. Here's Lemieux under pressure from Dubois. Dubois doing a great job. It's 1 against 3. And now coming out of their own zone is Queens in over the line. That's Renwick. A chance out front. Oh, pad save. More of a toe save from Delafontaine.
So the Queen Golden Gaels really get it going here on their zone entry with a drop pass to Matheson, then a pass across, and he's left all by himself on the back door. And then we have the big save by Remy Delafontaine, where he just comes across against those big legs and big pads of his out, just able to block that puck on an open pass on the open side with the back door wide open.
So Hamilton will take the draw now for Queens. 41 seconds remaining in the man advantage. Savoie's got it on his tape. He'll sling it off the glass and down the ice. This UNB penalty kill, perfect. 100% in the postseason. 17 for 17. And they're on their way to making it 18 for 18. In there is Baber creating some havoc. Wins the puck battle. A chance for McPhee. Point blank opportunity. And Wickware comes up massive. In over the line. That's Hamilton. He gets the puck stripped away from him. Here's Dubois. Dubois in over the line. Into the slot for McPhee. Swing and a miss. And now lugging it back the other way. This is Hutchison. He lost it on the end of his stick. Morgan's back out there. Back to five-a-side hockey. Cody Morgan, the former London Knight. He'll dump the puck in. He goes after it. He was fourth in AUS scoring this past season. Played across. Picked off now, and Cole Huckins tried to get in over the line, but it's going to be offside. Penalty killing simply outstanding for the Reds.
Well, I'm not really sure who had the power play at that point, because UNB was able to shut Queens down in the neutral zone, and then once they got the puck in the neutral zone, they were on the attack. It looked like they had a power play at some points out there in the last 2 minutes.
So face off in the neutral zone. Aaron Cap to take it for Queens. Cole Huckins, have to account for him. 6 points in 6 playoff games. Former NHLers Brad and Ryan Malone are his cousins, so he's got NHL DNA. D'Amato goes back there, tries to get away from the forecheck, and is successful. Plays it to the flank. Torrance, he scored the overtime winner in the AUS semifinals against UPEI. Cap looking for it. D'Amato trying to hold the line and now nudged out to center ice. Mancini, he'll backpedal. Here's Cole Huckins. Looking for that home run pass. Trying to hit Thomas LaRouche there. Wireman plays it over. Deflected in. De La Fontaine decides he wants to play it. LaRouche lost it in his skates. That puck bouncing around in the neutral zone. Here's Batisian. Flares it off to the flank, and that's going to be offside at the line. Here's a guy that you know very well, Brett Gibson.
Coach Brett Gibson of the Queens Gaels. This is the 5th time Queens has been at the University Cup, and Brett Gibson has brought the team here 4 times. Former St. Mary's Husky himself, and a player who's participated in the University Cup before.
Plenty of experience in big games as a head coach. He's Jack Duff, one of the premier defensemen in the OUA. Stewart roll-offs back inside his own zone. Nolay holding up shop. Or excuse me, that's Mancini holding up shop behind his net. In over the line. Here's Dubois on his backhand. Faber picks it up off the end boards. Up top, Nolay. There's a shot by Colton Kammerer. He got injured in the UPEI series. Didn't know if he was going to play in this tournament. Missed the Memorial Cup with Hamilton because of injury. So he's had some bad luck when it comes to participating in big matchups. Off the glass out to center ice. This is Morgan trying to make an adjustment. Perrick was there. Played forward. Johnson. He gets canceled out. Big Barnett comes over and squeezes him up against the boards. Off the glass and out. Perrick has to contend with Huckins. Huckins trying to turn the corner. Picks it up behind him. Send it in front. They score! Cody Morgan opens up the account for the Reds, and it's 1-0.
Well, we talked about Cody Morgan being that spark plug for the UNB Reds, and he showed it to us right there. He's got his team riled up right now. So we're coming down the board with Hutchins putting the puck into the corner, and then he puts a drop pass out. Morgan knows exactly. That's a set play. Those two guys have practiced that because you can see it. Hutchins knows exactly what to do. He's going, instead of carrying the puck around, he makes a drop pass with Morgan coming in. He takes the defenseman, Hutchins, with him, and Morgan's all by himself and buries it right inside the post on the far side of the net.
Cody Morgan had 40 points during the regular season in AUS action, and in 6 playoff games, 11 points, and he picks up a big goal right there. And now we got a penalty coming up, and it's going to go against Queens. And you know, when I talked to Coach Brett Gibson, he said, we cannot make multiple trips to the penalty box against this Reds team. It's going to kill us.
Yeah, they know that. The Reds team's a very offensive-minded team. They get quick transition, fast moving with the puck.
There's There's the penalty right there. Oh, that's a no-doubter.
Yeah.
Holmes just chopped the stick right out of Petizian's hands.
That's not something you could do in a game like this, especially after you've just given up that first goal. You got to gain an advantage, not give an advantage.
On this power play, got to watch out for 89 Stewart roll-offs. He's a power play master. 8 power play goals during the regular season, 3 in the postseason so far. Here's Huckins. Morgan just got that goal to give the Reds a 1-0 lead. Cole Huckins takes a shot, didn't have a lot on it, went to Wickware. And now Hutchison, he'll play it over, and Zlomyslik gets it down the ice. Power play for the Reds in the postseason, 31.6%, 6 of 19. Huckins now looking for somebody to feed it to. He gets taken into the end boards there into the corner by Rebo. And now cleared and sent down the ice. Meanwhile, for the penalty kill for the Gaels in the postseason, they're at just 76.9%. Drop back for Morgan. He weaves his way in the O zone. Dubois to Huckins. Morgan up top now. D'Amato. Morgan. He'll play catch with D'Amato once again. He's going to move in, try to make a play there. He fanned on the pass. Morgan able to bail him out. Down low. Roll-offs. He kicks at it, soccer style, and then D'Amato has to go back and re-rack here for UNB. 37 seconds remaining on this power play. 13:28 left in the first period. Nole drops it back. Here's Petizian. Shot out of a cannon. Petizian, he swings it around. Torrance jumps on it, the former Oshawa General. Here's Duff off the window down the ice. A race and chase. Marburg trying to get there. Delafontaine has to come out of the net. Time winding down on this man advantage for the Reds. Petizian pushes it ahead on that far side. Nole looking for somebody out in front. Goes off his skate. Back to five-a-side hockey. Here's Justin Nole. He'll hold the zone. Nole looking for a lane. Slings it to the net. That's blocked aside by Wickware. Reds win a battle off the boards. A chance for Torrance, and he just misses the mark. Barnett tries to get it deep, and now the former San Jose Shark draft pick sends it in. Battle along the boards. Castle plays it back inside his own zone. A giveaway. Here's McPhail, the wraparound. Oh, Wickware stopped that. Faber came in, and it got away from him, and Wickware saves the day for the Gaels. Barnett gets it out to neutral ice. Played back in. Here's Nick Savoie. I don't know how the heck he stopped that one. That was a desperation move. Nick Savoie. Long stretch pass. Trying to get there is Thomas LaRouche, first-year player for the Reds. Lemieux plays it forward. Thomas Sermon. He's got some room here. He'll gain the line. A little bit of a delay, and that's going to be offside. Whoa, Wickware. Kevin, what a save.
This is one of the best saves we've seen so far in the tournament. What a turnover deep in the zone with a wraparound play. Wickware, it looks like he's playing with a canoe paddle the way he got it over there. He's laying down, he gets it way out there, swipes at it, keeps the puck out of the net. That looks like something you see on the 50 highlights of the week in the NHL.
Unbelievable. That was the epitome of paddle down. Here's Huckins now right down Main Street trying to make a play. Comes back now. Colton Kammerer into the slot for Huckins. He'll lay it off. Morgan trying to take it to the net. Here's Morgan with a shot. Pansek rebound out in front. As that was Torrance. As he tried to go up high. Another shot by Morgan. And finally, the Gaels, they get it down the ice. A race and chase. Look at Hutchison. He tried to get to the dot first. It's going to be an icing call against the Gaels, and they won't be able to make a change here.
Well, you know, we said that Tanner Wickware we said Tanner Wickware would be a difference maker in the game, and so far through this first period he has. They've had to kill a penalty. They've had a bad turnover. He's made 3 great saves so far. I haven't seen a save in this tournament as good as that one right now.
He has stood on his head for this Gaels team throughout the playoffs. Baber gets in there. Ribot tries to lasso him. Here's Cam Baber, shoots that one over top of the cage, jumping on it. There's Roloffs. We saw the Pats this afternoon get on the cycle quite a bit, and this Reds team, they will just wear you thin. Comes out of the zone now. And this is Hutchison. He'll dump the puck in, and the Gaels want to make a change. Shots on net, 7-2 in favor of UNB. Reds taking their time. Here comes Petizian, and he wants to ramble. Michael Petizian down this near side wing. He'll dump it in. Look out. Man, oh man, he means business, 71. Zlomyslik. And there's Petizian as he takes a run at a man. That was Renwick at the UNB bench. Petizian now. He'll dump that puck in. Wickware handled that one dangerously, and now Jack Duff wants to change angles, gets knocked down by McPhee. Coming there with support is Morgan, centered out in front, and back out to center ice. Quick up here, trying to get that puck to Tolney. Tolney back in the lineup after missing significant time for Queens, and they're happy to have him back. Here's Morgan. Over for Torrance. Tried to get it back to Morgan. I don't think he was expecting it. Huckins in there on the forecheck. Tolney off the boards. They can't connect on a pass. And now the Reds, they have to tag up. But it's been all Reds here so far, Kevin.
Yeah, it has been. And Queens has done a pretty good job in their own zone, making sure there's no secondary shots. And they're doing everything they can to block the puck from getting to the slot area, because UNB is so potent from that place of the ice.
Reds bounce it out to center ice. Langdon dumps it in. Wickware. He'll hand that one around the kick plate. Sermon is there, the former Charlottetown Islander. And now Ribot. He gets hit big time, as that was Carruthers that got nasty. Baber looking forward into skates. And now Holmes, he'll dump it in. Castle trying to get in on the forecheck for the Gaels. Here's McPhee, weaves away from one man. Slides it over here. Trying to get the return pass. Ward battle behind the net. Renwick changes directions. Look at the great moves there by Renwick. Gets some help from Duff. Played out to center, off to the flank. This is Baber. He'll just dump that puck in. Barnett slides it down the wall behind the net for Roloffs. Roloff centers it out in front. He was looking for Baber. Roloffs with it again. He gets canceled out by Duff. Good zone time here for UNB, tilting the ice on the Gaels. Tanner fighting for it. Back there with some defensive support for his D-men. And then he'll just loft that puck down the ice. Barnett, quick up here to center, deflected in by Morgan. Both teams making changes. 7:13 remaining in this first period of play. 1-0 is the score. Morgan with the goal. Here's Huckins, as Cole Huckins had a great opportunity. Huckins in the slot for Morgan, sends it to the net. That's stopped by Wickware. Hutchison, he goes cross ice, try to hit Johnson with a pass off the skate. And here comes UNB. They spill right back in over the line. Play broken up though. Hamilton over for Johnson. Johnson, a chance for Hutchison. And another opportunity slipped away for Hamilton. And now by his lonesome, this is Blagden. Blagden stops up behind the net. There's nobody on the ice in the red jersey in the offensive zone. Now he's got troops coming to help him out. D'Amato with a shot. He floated that one to the net. Wickware kicked it away. Blagden behind the net. This is LaRouche into the slot. A shot there by McPhee. That got directed wide. And we got a penalty coming up, and it's going to go against the Golden Gaels, so they'll have to kill another one off. It's been all Reds in this one. Morgan has the goal, 1-0. Back to Halifax on the other side.
Le sport en direct sur ici-tout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est ici-tout.tv.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks. Just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
So this week, Queens is focused all their eyes on the David Johnson University Cup, but that wasn't always the case, and hockey nerds will love this one. Back before the Stanley Cup was officially owned and operated by a pro league, the winners got challenged by teams to defend their title, and Queens is the only university team to have ever challenged for the Stanley Cup. Now, they lost all 3 times in 1895, 1899, and 1906, and they actually had a 4th challenge but had to withdraw because it conflicted with medical school exams of some of their top players. In other words, they had too much homework to do.
Yeah, we can't play for the Stanley Cup. We got to do some homework. Nobody would say that today.
I'm not so sure that would fly today.
So a penalty to Perrick, and UNB on the PP. D'Amato surveys the situation. Here's Cole Huckins over for Morgan. Morgan, no look shot. There's a chance, and Cole Huckins! Backdoor easy. And it's 2-0 UNB.
We've got a puck that moves to the outside of Morgan. Morgan puts it off the back pad, and Huckins is standing on the back door waiting. We tell young hockey players, if you don't have a shot, take a look, try and put it off the goalie's pads into a position for a secondary scoring chance. And that was textbook right there. Morgan doesn't have the open net. Wick wears cover and everything, puts it off his back pad, and Hutchins just breaks in, boom, flips it up over the top and under the bar.
So Cole Huckins makes it 2-0. Former 3rd-round pick of the Calgary Flames. When he's moving his feet, he's tough to stop. Gaels trying to get something going. Morton sent it in deep, now ripped around the boards. And now we got McPhee as did some pushing and shoving there with Marburg. And there's Cap. He's got the full cage on. And cooler heads will prevail here, but 5:32 remaining. And the Gaels, they got to get something going here. And there you see Rob Henniger. 10 seasons as an associate coach to Gardner McDougall. He's done such a great job with this program.
Rob Henniger's got his team here in his 2 consecutive years as a head coach, and a former player at UNB with the UNB Reds. He's played here in the University Cup as a player. In 2006, 2007, they won the University Cup with Rob Henniger. Rob is a former AUS scoring champ in 07-08, 58 points in 27 games, and a former Rookie of the Year in 2004 in the Atlantic Universities Conference.
Great player, and has become a real good coach for this program. Helps when you got a good teacher like Gardner McDougall.
Certainly does.
Face-off won by UNB, and have a 2-0 lead here, and that's going to be an icing call. And now McPhee getting into it. Lemieux was there, and everybody will just chill out for a bit. LaRouche having a word with Wickware, trying to get in his head.
Well, the Queens Gaels have to be very careful here now. They need to keep working on their game plan, get back to the game plan, and not play frustrated hockey. And UNB is smothering the puck right now in the offensive zone. And right now what Queens is doing is they're getting frustrated. They're retaliating on every hit that comes at them. They got to settle down, get back into what brought them here, which is good, hard-nosed hockey and hard drives to the net.
Yeah, this Queens team, they're all about structure, and the structure is not there right now. Hot shot by Renwick, and De La Fontaine, top of the blue paint, and swallows it up. And more of a board meeting down there.
Well, I think Queens has a game plan right now to get in front of De La Fontaine, try and screen him as much as they can. And because of that, the UNB defensemen are taking a little bit of offense to that happening. So far, the last two plays that have been in the blue paint, it's been UNB who's pushed the Gaels player into their goaltender, De La Fontaine. They've got to be careful with that too, because that's part of a game plan, is try and get the goalie off his game when you can't put the puck behind him.
Face-off won by Cole Huckins. Lobbed out of the zone. On it is Jack Duff. Once the U Sport season is done, he's going to turn pro. Puck behind the UNB net. Here's Torrance now. He wanted to chip and chase. Hutchison gets that loose puck. Hutchison moves in now. Hutchison right on the mark. And a stop there by Remy De La Fontaine. Just a reminder, the women's tournament is going on in Woolwich, Ontario, March 19th to 22nd. You can get your tickets at usports.ca. And I hear there's some great games going on in the women's tournament. Off the face-off, this is Baber. Cam Baber in over the line. He'll stop up. Sends it down low for Roloff. Roloff centered it as he had Jax Dubois in front. And Wickware, he's been busy here in this period, to say the least.
He's made 12 saves so far in this game, and I'd say 9 of them were exceptional saves. Among some of the better that we've seen through the first 4 games here of the tournament. And we knew that coming in here that he would be a stalwart for the team and be able to do the job on the back end. What we're not sure of right now is how Queens is going to create some offense and try and draw that 2-0 to a 2-1 here before the end of the first period.
I mean, I'm not talking out of school when I say this Queens team a little offensively challenged during the regular season. 77 goals. That's an average of 2.75 goals per game. So you got to play some real good defense to win hockey. Ward battle on this near side. Morton tries to keep it in. Roloffs gets knocked down. Lemieux is there. That puck's somewhere underneath Stuart Roloffs. Puck sent in, and that's going to be an icing against the Queens Gaels. U Sport fans, we want to hear from you about your viewing experience. Visit usportsfans.ca or click the QR code on the screen. Join the fan advisory. Tell us about your viewing habits when it comes to U Sports. 3:57 remaining in the first period. It's 2-0 for the Reds. Cole Huckins out there once again. Torrance, Huckins, and Morgan. They've been the big unit throughout the season. Huckins with a goal and an assist so far in this one. Face-off won by the Reds. Here's Barnett. That shot goes wide in the net. Off the glass and out of the zone, and not much connectivity for the Gaels in the neutral zone or in the attacking zone. Morton plays it down the line. That pass is picked off. Here's Morgan, drops it back for Huckins. Into the slot for Torrance, he can't let the shot go, but one comes from Savoie, and that's held on to by Wickware.
Right now what you're seeing from Queens is they're trying to stop the UNB attack just inside their blue line and go into transition, but what they've got is they've got guys that are spread too far, and the UNB wingers know what's coming. So either the defenseman stepping up on the backside or the offensive forward is relaxing on the forecheck to pick up the winger and cut out the outlet pass.
Hutchison trying to track down that puck. Nole able to get it down the ice. This is Jack Duff on it. Duff under pressure, played it over for Renwick. Two defensemen trying to attack here. There's a shot steered aside by De La Fontaine. Renwick, he's in there deep. Hutchison filling in on the point. Shovels it down and around. Jumping on that puck is Sermon. Back to Jack Duff. Looking for the tip. That came close as Hutchison was in there. Got a twig on it. Shot by Renwick. That got blocked as Thomas LaRouche got into the shooting lane. Into the slot. Now the puck comes out of the zone. McPhee trying to get to it. Duff beats him there, and then he gave it away. Petizian in over the line. Petizian with a shot. And Wickware will hang on. And Stuart Roloffs surrounded by Gaels.
Well, that's the first time I've seen Petizian take a shot in this period and not finish his shot with a check.
Yeah. And that is Michael Petizian.
He's played some dynamite hockey so far through the first 18 minutes of this period.
My late mother used to watch a soap opera called The Edge of Night. Michael Petizian plays on The Edge of Night. Face off to the right of Wickware. There's Roloffs, or excuse me, that's Dubois. He's going to take the draw. Roloffs on one flank. And Cam Baber on the other for the Reds. And now it'll be Jack Dubois. There's a shot off the draw, kicked away by Wickware. Dubois twisting and turning, trying to get away from Morton. Oh, looking backdoor for D'Amato. D'Amato just couldn't get to it in time. Baber, he gets taken into the boards by Lemieux. 2-on-2 battle, trying to dig it off the kick plate. 2:16 remaining here in the first. And now that puck comes to Tolney. Tolney trying to get away from his man. He plays it cross ice. This is Lemieux in over the line, and that's going to be offside as that was Marburg a couple of steps ahead of Lemieux, and that's just been the way it has been for Queens in terms of trying to generate some offense.
Yeah, one of the things that I just noticed here with the Queens team in their own zone is they've been playing a zone defense through most of the first period. In that last sequence, they switched to a man-on-man. They were able to contain the UNB offense and move the puck out easily and come down the ice.
Herrick, he'll send that puck in deep. Savoie rims it around the boards. Morgan couldn't handle it cleanly, but it comes out of the zone anyway. Here's Torrance. Drops it back for Morgan. Morgan with a shot through traffic. Morgan back on the puck again. He'll play it back to Savoie. To Cody Morgan with a shot, and that is squeezed. And Wickware, man, he has been busy.
Cody Morgan has decided he's going to set up office and open a franchise right there at the top of the dot. That's the fourth shot that he's taken from that point in the ice. And every time he takes a shot, Hutchins is in front of the net. We saw that on the last play when Hutchins passed the puck out to Morgan. Morgan knows that he's there. If he doesn't have that direct shot, he's going to look to go off that back pad.
Here's his shot. That puck's loose in the blue paint. Petizian is there, as is McPhee, and McPhee just got drilled. And the net comes off the pegs, but everything at the net. And UNB, they're not hesitating to shoot pucks.
Yeah, and McPhee gets in hard on Wickware here and creates the battle in the blue paint. And then the Queens defenseman pushes McPhee into the goalpost to get the goal to come off its hinges and make a stoppage in play there. There was a lot of traffic there, and it looked like UNB was almost going to put that puck in.
Where would you rate this UNB team in terms of being hard on pucks?
So far, I would say that the UNB team is the hardest on pucks that we've seen throughout the first 4 games of the tournament. They're puck hungry right now.
Sermon trying to take it to the net. One hands it towards De La Fontaine. Sermon plays it back to the point. Brunswick, a swing and a miss, and it comes back out to neutral ice. This is Duff, the captain, off the boards. Barnett plays it here for Partizian. Slides that puck in, and the Reds will make a change here. Zach Duff. Hutchison couldn't handle it. Renwick, D to D. Again, the passing not very crisp here from Queens. Kammerer. Off to the wing and dumped in. Colton Kammerer, he hasn't had a lot of shifts here, and you got to wonder about that upper body injury that he has. Barnett steps up in the neutral zone, sent in. 27 seconds now remaining in the frame. 2-0 for the Reds. Morgan and Huckins, they have the goals. There's the aforementioned Huckins. Way back out to center ice. Savoie, he'll backpedal, waste some time here. Cole Huckins in over the line, try to slide it across. He's looking for Torrance, and that is going to do it for the first 20 minutes of play. 20 minutes of play that was simply dominated by the UNB Reds.
Yeah, UNB's been dominated in the offensive zone. They haven't given Queens much room to get any kind of offense going when Queens is able to penetrate. But the thing that you got to watch out for right now is, even though the shots are slanted a little bit here, in a 2-0 game, you're one shot away from a 2-1 game right now. And what Queens wants to do is get pucks in deep, create traffic at that front of the net, and hope to get a rebound or a secondary opportunity and score that first goal. And they want to do that as soon as they come back early in the period.
And Wickware, I mean, he's keeping them in this game here. This easily could be a 3-0, 4-0 contest right now. He stood on his head.
Yeah, and Queens has relied on Tanner Wickware to get to the tournament so far. But right now, what they've got to do is say, hey, we're here now. We've got to create something. We've got to do something more. We've got to find an extra gear and try and move this game forward and bring that gap from 2-0 down to 2-1.
And you know, for the blue liners, for UNB, it's been easy for them. I mean, very rarely have they had to pivot and be under pressure going back for pucks.
For the most part so far, Peter, UNB has been able to keep Queens to the outside. And when you do that, you're not going to have many scoring opportunities.
Okay, let's send it over now to Rob Pizzo.
Yeah, I'm here with Cody Morgan, who opened the scoring in this game. And Cody, I got to start right there with your goal. That looked a little too perfect. How often did you and Cole work on that one in practice?
Not very often, but Huck's a great player. I'm fortunate enough to play with two great line mates that we've been kind of clicking lately, and Huck made a great play to find me, and luckily I was able to beat the goalie to that spot. So,
not surprising, ice was tilted a lot in that period. Can't ask for a better period from your team. Are we officially in don't change a thing mode?
Yeah, I think we got to keep our foot on the gas, honestly. No lead safe in this tournament. There's a lot of good teams, and a game can flip on a head. So all we got to do is just keep our foot to the floor and hopefully keep humming around.
You've been here before. You've got a couple titles on your resume. Does the pressure of this tournament get any easier with every year that you come back?
No, I don't think so. There's always pressure to these tournaments, and there's eight great teams here. And, I think we just got to keep doing what we're doing to be able to get the win here.
Thanks so much. Good luck in the second.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rob. Cody Morgan, what a season he's had. He's got one of the goals here. Cole Huckins has the other. UNB with a 2-0 lead over Queens. We'll step away. We'll come back with our intermission report right after this. You're watching the University Cup right here on CBC Gem.
Delaney, territoire du Nord-Ouest. Le berceau du hockey. On y trouve une communauté riche en histoire et en tradition que Quaker voulait surprendre avec une toute nouvelle cantine déjeuner Quaker dans son aréna. En plus d'offrir notre avoine canadienne à grains entiers, la cantine est maintenant l'endroit pour se rassembler, manger et célébrer. Nous sommes fiers d'alimenter la passion du hockey dans son village d'origine, parce que peu importe d'où tu viens, t'es capable.
Le sport en direct sur icitout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles. Des athlètes de grand talent. Des sports de haut niveau. Tout ça sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est simple et gratuit sur icitout.tv.
Every hit, goal, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline, immersing you in the game like never before, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. We deliver unparalleled simplicity and tailor-made digital broadcasting solutions crafted to make you feel every moment in a way like never before. Our passionate team ensures your message reaches audiences reliably every time. Proudly Canadian, we bring a touch of innovation and our passion to the world stage. ISI Live, be there.
Across Canada, it starts the same way. A love for the game that unites us all. From hometown rinks to the world stage, we rise together. Every stride, every save, every dream, shared by every girl who's ever picked up a stick.
It's her shot, rebound in front, she scores!
Because when one rises, we all rise. Rise as one.
Beginning a program at university is an incredibly optimistic moment. Anything is possible. This is the time to enjoy learning, to enjoy figuring it all out, to learn things you never knew, and become someone you didn't think possible, beyond the expected, beyond your wildest dreams. Grow beyond.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back. It's UNB with a 2-0 lead over Queens. Nolan Hutchison, the fifth-year forward, has been an offensive force for this Gaels team. In 8 playoff games, he has 7 goals. Let's spend 2 minutes with the Gananoque, Ontario native.
Health studies, and I'm the left wing. Yeah, I think just continuing what we're doing. I mean, what we've done is been successful so far in the playoffs, so we're just going to continue that Friday night against a tough opponent, so we're excited. Just continuing what's been working in playoffs. I mean, we played some top teams, and for example, Concordia. So, I mean, just continuing what we're doing. It's been successful so far. So, last year, comparing it to that, we had a tough outcome against USass. So, we're trying to revenge that from last year. But, yeah, we got a tough opponent against UNB, so we're excited. Yeah, it's been fun so far. I mean, it's an excellent facility, and we're excited for the facilities off the ice. So, yeah, just excited and taking it all in. I think just my parents, I mean, they started when I was young, about 3 or 4 years old. So, I mean, just kind of been there with the support from them that's kind of inspired me to continue what I do. Yeah, I think I'm power forward that has some speed and, I mean, has a little bit of a scoring touch that can put the puck in the back of the net. Yeah, I think just the big time management thing is, I mean, you're going to have time to have fun. You know, that's going to come. So, I mean, just making sure the studies get done first. And then, I mean, you never want to quit on the dream. So I think just having a good balance in that. I mean, it's mixed feelings for sure. I mean, usually, yeah, you don't know when the last game is sometimes, the playoffs and whatnot. So, I mean, you're coming this weekend knowing it's the last weekend in a Queens jersey. So, I mean, just not taking it for granted and taking it one shift at a time.
Partout au Canada, c'est une histoire qui se répète, née d'un amour pour un sport qui nous rassemble. Des patinoires du coin à la scène mondiale, nous avançons ensemble. Avec chaque foulée, chaque arrêt et chaque rêve qui habite toute fille qui choisit le hockey. Parce que tous ces coups de patin nous propulsent. 1, 2, 3, Canada! Ensemble, vers l'avant.
Le sport en direct sur ICTout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est ICTout.tv.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks. Just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
This isn't about just showing up. It's about what you're willing to give. It's about being a part of something bigger than yourself. The work that matters, it happens long before anyone's watching. But it's never done alone. And when it gets hard, this team's behind you. Because the biggest victories, they're the ones that we earn together.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan.
A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes. Borrow better with FIG.
There are those among us who never run away from problems. Instead, they run to them. When we never settle for the world that's been built, that's when we drive it forward, towards something better. Better outcomes for clients. And better futures for our communities. At Cushman & Wakefield, we believe better never settles.
Sports on CBC, presented by Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, Fox 40, Theraburn Medical Supply, Les Bag Baron Rings, BioSteel, APAR, and by Steel Mazda.
20 minutes in the books, and it's the UNB Reds, the 10-time national champions. They've got themselves a 2-0 lead. Morgan and Huckins, they have the goals in this game. Let's show you some numbers here, and a dominant first period for the UNB Reds.
UNB is playing like an offensive team that's possessed right now. They've come out hard. Every time they get the puck inside the blue line, they're coming away with a shot and a rebound or a hit. And that's their game plan right now, is to try and keep Queens back on their heels and not give them any opportunity to come down with a wave of 2 or 3. And right now, Queens shots are coming from the outside.
And here's that first goal. Slick play there by Huckins to put it on the tape of Cody Morgan, and Wickware was just, wow, he was busy. I mean, there was 2 periods of opportunities in that opening frame, and there's that big save that he made with the paddle.
He's made some of the best saves we've seen so far in the tournament. Queens knows that their goalie's going to keep him in. What they've got to do now is come out and find some kind of offense to make sure that they can stay in this game and keep competing with the UNB Reds.
Yeah, and I don't think they've had one cycle in this game. It's always been, one and done, and like 7 shots on net after 20 minutes of play. They got to ramp it up a bit.
It's pretty hard if you can't get more sustained offense with some rebounds if you want to create a scoring opportunity.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe, no matter where you're from, you've got this.
This isn't about just showing up. It's about what you're willing to give. It's about being a part of something bigger than yourself. The work that matters, it happens long before anyone's watched it. But it's never done alone. And when it gets hard, this team's behind you. Because the biggest victories, they're the ones that we earn together.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan. A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes.
Borrow better with FIG.
Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Beginning a program at university is an incredibly optimistic moment. Anything is possible. This is the time to enjoy learning, to enjoy figuring it all out. To learn things you never knew and become someone you didn't think possible, beyond the expected, beyond your wildest dreams. Grow beyond.
Welcome back to Halifax. It's a 2-0 lead for UNB as we get ready to set sail here in the second period. And the Reds are going to start with Huckins, Torrance, and Morgan up front. And that trio, they have created a lot of havoc here. We'll see now if Queens could get something going here in the first 5-6 minutes of this second period. Savoie, he'll play it to center ice, chopped in. Renwick has to go back. Wickware, he'll play it around the boards. Johnson can't chip it out of the zone. Now that puck comes dangerously out in front, and that is smothered there by Wickware. So not a great start for this Queens team. And Renwick, he kind of misplayed this puck here, Kevin.
Yeah, he misplayed it, and what's happening right now is the puck is bouncing like a tennis ball. And we saw that today, that, you know, the ice got a little chippy, puck started bouncing, but we've had 2 or 3 that have got behind the net and bounced out in front on a funny bounce.
Centered out in front. Renwick gets it. He'll play it off. Larman will dump that puck in the zone, trying to get there. Savoie's got that puck pinned up against the wall. Barnett is in there, 6'6". Played some hockey at the University of Vermont. Off the end boards. Oh, there's a chance. As that was an opportunity right there for number 12. That was Tanner.
That was a missed opportunity. Those are the ones right now that Queens got to find a way to capitalize on.
Larman played it off the boards. Tanner has to go off on a change. They haven't had very many offensive opportunities. That was one of them right there. Here's Dubois, takes his shot, puts that one wide of the mark. Reboul tries to tie up his man. Play back up top, Cam Baber. There's a shot by Kammerer. And now Nolan Hutchison, he'll just roll it into UNB territory. Kammerer played it to Baber. Over here on the near side for Hutchison, looking for it in his skates. Hutchison, as we mentioned, that intermission report, 7 goals in 8 playoff games.
The second period of today's game is brought to you by...
Let's take a look at that great chance there for Queens.
Shot comes back to the point here, and it's put on net, and the rebound comes right back to Tanner, and he just can't get a handle on it to put it inside the post. I've seen a few of those lately. We saw one of those at the Olympics where it might have been a change of game if we were able to get a handle on the puck. But Queens has to find a way right now.
Queens, they'll dump the puck in. Marburg trying to get in on the forecheck. Delafontaine swung it around. And now here's Petitian, number 71. He's out there. Roloffs gets taken into the boards. Petitian digging for it. Got a little composite in the back there from Cap. Darren Cap now. Try to track it down on the forecheck. Here's Cap, throws a big hit on Kammerer. And Kammerer's got that upper body injury, and it looked like he was wincing after taking that hit. He's going to go off. So tomorrow at noon Eastern, we've got a semifinal matchup, and there you see Windsor, the Giant Killers. They beat the Cougars and St. Mary's in that war of attrition last night.
Well, you know what?
Against Saskatchewan.
The one thing you can't do in this tournament is underestimate your opponent. And with St. Mary's coming in number 8 seed, they didn't care what the seeding was. It was just a way of getting through the tournament. They took advantage of a high-energy, high-impact game, and that led them to a 4-3 victory yesterday and a chance to move forward into the semifinal.
Puck comes back to the point, and the one thing about St. Mary's, they are healthy, and they haven't been healthy in a long time. And you never want to lose a playoff series, but maybe losing that AUS playoff series to UPI might have been the right tonic for them. Get everybody healthy. Puck sent out to center ice now, and once again, it's Queens having to regroup. Dumped in opposite corner. D'Amato's there. That puck took a funny bounce on D'Amato in that corner. Sermon has it. He'll play it back up top. And there's a shot. That ramped up. Steered aside by Delafontaine. Another opportunity. Duff comes down. He wants to apply some pressure. And now Mancini will just float that out to center ice. Here's Petitian. Petitian now coming off the wing. Lost the puck momentarily. Tried to get it to the net. Play broken up. And now you're starting to see Queens with a little bit of confidence here, Kevin.
Well, they're finding a little bit of jump in their game right now, and they're attacking the net and putting pucks where they need to, where they can come on to a rebound and hopefully create that secondary scoring chance. But you know what? You only get so many chances, and you got to bury one at this point in the game right now.
Here's Luke Torrance, 208 games with the Oshawa Generals during his junior career. Cody Morgan works down the wall. Morgan sends it out in front. That went off the skate. Huckins picks it up. He'll funnel it down low. This is Morgan coming off the wall again. There's a shot. Bounces around, and Wickware will freeze it.
I think Queens' strategy right now is to try and tie that line up and shut them down, and then get their other lines to try and create some kind of offense right now. That's the way for them to stay in this game and gain opportunity. Wickwire's back there. They know he's back there. They have confidence in him. They've got to find a way to capitalize because they've had 2 golden chances so far.
Only 7 shots on net here as we approach the 5-minute mark of this second period. Here's Torrance. Trying to get away from Lemieux. Morgan. He'll send it around. Nolay comes off the point. Spins it down low. Once again, the cycle is going here for UNB. Torrance, can he hold the line? No, he can't. Throws a check there at Lemieux. Cap moves in, fires one. And that ramps up and goes out of play. So a good look there for Queens.
You know, right now what Queens has done is they've come out with a lot more intensity, and they're creating scoring opportunities. And we talked about the whole David and Goliath factor. If you look at the way they got here, they had a .500 season, were able to make the playoffs towards the end of the season, then came out, beat the number 3 team, beat the number 1 team, and then lost to UQTR in 3 games, who were the eventual Queens Cup champion, and then went on and beat TMU to gain their berth here.
Talk to Coach Gibson. He talks about the fact that their playoffs actually started 2 weeks before the actual OUA playoffs because they didn't have a spot. Turnover in the UNB zone. There's this shot. No problems for Telefontaine. And he covers up. Offensive zone face-off for Queens. So on Sunday, we'll have the gold medal game on the full CBC network, 12 p.m. Eastern time. And we're still wondering who that's going to be. Hamilton will take this ozone face-off for the Gaels. It's off to the right of Delafontaine. To the point, there's a shot. Perrick can't get it on the target. Off the glass, and it bounces down the ice. An icing call, another ozone face-off. So this is good. Start winning some draws here now through the Gaels and gain some ozone time.
What they need to do is keep winning those draws and create some offensive momentum. They're in the zone for the draw. They've got set plays right now. Now's the time you run the stuff that you've worked with all year and hope to capitalize on a quick one.
Hamilton in the face-off circle once again with Huckins. Good face-off win there by Hamilton. There's a shot that got blocked by Morgan. Barnett, battle of the big men there, as that was Hutchison battling with the 6'6" defenseman for the Reds. Tapped at, not out of the zone. Perrick with a shot that goes wide. This is Hamilton into the slot. Nobody there in a Gaels jersey, and Torrance down the wing. He tried to slide it the first time, gets a second opportunity to get it below the goal line. Tolney. Rebo, his pass cut off in the neutral zone. Huckins brings it right back. There's a deflection out in front. Wickware got in front of that one. Rebo now trying to get away from Huckins. Played up along the wall. Here's Batisia. Batisia, he took an elbow to the mug. Mancini, he pinches. These defensemen for UNB very active, coming down the wall and keeping pucks in play.
Well, they know they've got support from their forwards coming back if they do pinch down, that they're not going to get caught. And there's a lot of support going on there. Every time they drop down the wall, somebody drops back into their position. And that's what you got to have in a tournament like this.
Good chance there for LaRouche.
And again, Huckins puts the puck right on net. LaRouche drives there with his stick on the ice. We can't emphasize that. We've seen 3 goals in this tournament. Drive the net, keep your stick on the ice, and good things will happen.
We saw it this afternoon with Baudouin for Trois-Rivières. Went right to the net, simply put the stick on the ice and got the goal. Big hit by Duff as he stepped up on Carruthers. Comes out of the zone. Kammerer's out there again. Boy, this guy, 21, the captain for this UNB team, he is gutting it out. He is not 100%. And there you see Colton Kammerer. He's the head of the leadership group for this UNB team.
You know, there was some doubt as to whether he would be dressed in tonight's game, but when you come into a game like this, hoping to go through to the championship game, you've got to take that opportunity and get your best players out there, and especially your leaders.
Talked to Rob Henniger the other day on Wednesday. He said, is Colton going to play? Oh, well, you know, he skated today. We'll see. Well, is that a yes or a no? And he goes, yeah, we'll see. There's the shot, they score. Cam Baber with a rocket to the top bunk. And it's now 3-0, and it's going to be an ever-slight climb now for Queens. And boy, he just ripped that one, and Rip Ware had no chance.
Made no mistake. He came down the outside, waited till he had the screen, and then put that puck hop by right underneath. You'll see him move the puck to the outside, run the screen, pick the defenseman, and then boom. Right when the goalie committed, put the puck right underneath the crossbar.
So everybody chipping in here offensively for this Reds team. And the one thing I talked with Coach Gibson about is the depth of this Reds team. He said, hey, their fourth line could be most teams' #1 line. That's how much depth they have. Here's Huckins. Got the puck in, and now Morton. He gives it away. Huckins moves on in. Cody Morgan, he'll spin it down the wall, or at least try to. Gets it deep eventually. Centered out in front. Torrens was right there. And now bounced out. Here's a great look. This is Castle. Moves in. He's got Cap with him. They score! Castle gets the return pass from Cap. And that gets Queens to within 2. Let's see if this gets their mojo going a little bit, Kevin.
Well, you know what? When you give up a third goal like they just did and they come back this way, there's no quitting that Queens Golden Gaels team right now. Castle makes a beautiful play here. Takes the pass from Cap and leaves no doubt the way he buries it here. Castle comes down, gives it to Cap. He waits till the defenseman commits. Back to Cap, and he's got Delafontaine down in the splits already, and then he puts that puck up high and makes no doubt about it. He's got the goalie committed. No chance for Delafontaine to get back on that one.
So Castle with the goal. That's his first goal of the playoffs. Excuse me. Check that. That's his third goal of the playoffs for Aiden Castle. Quick response there for the Gaels. Let's see if they can get more of that. Rebo plays it over here for Hutchison. On his back end, he goes rink wide. Johnson couldn't settle that puck down. Big hit below the goal line, as that was Derek Hamilton getting physical. Sent in. Perrick was right there. Takes a whack at it. And now Kammerer. He got nailed. Colton Kammerer run over on the end boards. Up top now. Rebo with a shot. That's blocked by Kammerer. Another shot. Good sequence here for the Gaels. Rebo again with a shot. That was stopped by Delafontaine. Didn't know where the rebound went. Now it comes out to center ice. This is McPhee. It's tied up by Rebo. And now Hamilton looking for an option here. And now some open space here for Hamilton, and he'll dump it in. Takes a little hit there from Baber. Shots on net now 25-10 in favor of the Reds. Stuart Roloff's in over the line, and Dubois just ahead, and that's going to be offside. Let's take a look at this hit here on Colton Kammerer. And right there, Nolan Hutchison, wow, he went right to him.
He went right at him and made no mistake. He knew he needed to turn that puck over. And right now what Queens has done is come back in this game, put sustained pressure on, but they've got to start shooting the puck a little bit more. No shot's a bad shot at this point in time, especially in a 3-1 game. If you can take a shot and it finds its way in on its own, you're closing that gap pretty quick.
Played up along the boards now. Holmes got it out of the zone. This is Barnett. Billiards it off the boards, deflected in by Baber. Approaching the halfway point of the second period. 3-1 lead for the Reds. In over the line, this is Holmes. Sermon was in the vicinity, but puck didn't come to him. Deflected out, and now jumping on that puck is Morgan. He's been all over it here in this game so far. Morgan readjusts and sends it in deep. Morton takes a poke at it. Winning a puck battle is Luke Torrance. He'll send it in the corner for Morgan. Takes a hit, still has that puck. Morton under pressure. Here's Holmes. He just chips it out into neutral ice and sent right back in. Both teams making changes here. As you see, Cameron Morton behind his net. Played to the near side. This is Lemieux. He'll dump it in. And Cheney stepped up on him. Puck in the corners. They battled for it. There's Blagden. And now Torrance. He'll dump it in. He needs to go off on a change here. Tanner weaves his way through traffic and neutral ice. He'll dump it in, wants to get after it. Kammerer is there. Look out. And I think this Queens team, they know that Colton Kammerer is under stress a little bit with that upper body injury. Every opportunity, they're taking a run at the captain. Puck sent down the ice. Herrick. He's got some room now to skate with that puck. Herrick in over the line. Takes a shot. That goes wide. Ricochets off the boards. Here's Cameron Baber. He gives it away. Cam Baber, his grandfather played for the Greyhounds, Sioux Greyhounds, when they played in the Northern Ontario League. His dad played for the Sioux Greyhounds when they played in the OHL. Here's Renwick. Off the boards. Nobody in particular in a gold jersey to that puck. Here's LaRouche trying to get there, held up by Renwick. LaRouche has it again. Renwick getting physical. Now the puck comes to Duff. Jack Duff. Pass behind Castle, who has the goal in this game for the Gaels. That puck floated in and held onto by De La Fontaine. Well, Aiden Castle has the goal for the Queens Gaels. And they are now down by 2. We'll step out. We'll come back with more University Cup right after this.
Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
To play for the Golden Gaels. His late father Graham played 21 games for the team back in 96-97, as did his brother Will for 3 seasons. So it's a family affair. And speaking of family, Thomas won the Roger Nielsen Memorial Award as a top post-secondary player with an average of over 83% at Queen's University. Not surprising, seeing as his mother, Allison, was a former teacher and principal. So he followed in his dad's footsteps, his brothers, and yes, even his mom's.
Thank you very much, Rob. Zone face-off now for the Gaels. There's a shot that gets deflected wide. Barnett, he'll swing it around. And we're seeing a lot of this Huckins line with Morgan and Torrance out there.
I'm actually surprised this early in the game that they're double shifting that line.
There's Luke Torrance. Try to blaze a trail down the wall, and D'Amato tried to sail it in there, and it goes out of play.
Well, Peter, the one difference is the winner of this game has to play again tomorrow. The winner of yesterday's games had today off. So when you start double shifting your lines that early in the game, you got to be careful. If you can't break that gap in the score and make it a little bit wider and get back to rolling your 4 lines, you run the risk of running some guys into fatigue going into tomorrow's game as well if you're able to move forward.
It's almost like a checkers match, or a chess match rather. Trying to figure out what you need to do with your lineup. And now in over the line come the Gaels, as that was Larman. He couldn't make a play, and now Roloff's on his backhand. He fanned on the passing attempt. Parrott can't get it out. Now he's got it back again. Out to center ice. Back here now for Rebo. Deflected in by Tanner. Quick change here for Queens. 6:43 remaining in the second period. It remains 3-1 for the Reds. Batizian. He'll send it in the corner. He gets on his horse here. Throws a hit. Feed. He'll get it behind the net. Batizian overskated the puck. He takes a run at Jack Duff, and now this is Marburg. Plays it off the wing. Marburg to the net, and he couldn't get there in time, and it's frozen by De La Fontaine. And there you see the bracket once again. Windsor and St. Mary's tomorrow, and then UQTR. They'll play the winner here of Queens and UNB.
Peter, right now we've got Queens going on the power play, so they've got the last goal. They've got a bit of an offensive advantage the way that they've been playing in this last 8 minutes or so. And right now, what they need to do is come up with a draw, set up a play, and get hard to the net. They've got to be shooting the puck right now, not worrying so much about making perfect passes.
Yeah, De La Fontaine has not been tested here in this one, or at least not enough. Renwick hammers the puck in. So Bob was right there, and now back the other way is Dubois. Jacques Dubois just bounces it out. And now Lemieux, Ian Lemieux behind his net, plays it forward. Here's Renwick, fanned on the pass. And play whistle down. And we got a slashing call here. And it's going to go against Queens, and that's an ill-advised time to be taking a penalty.
Yeah, that one hurts right now. Queens had the puck in their own zone getting ready for the breakout. And we've got the slash in the neutral zone on the... Here he comes through.
Whoa, is that the penalty?
Yeah. He knocked the stick out of his hand, but I'm not going to say it.
Don't worry. Coach Gibson will say it for you.
Yeah, I'm sure he will be right now.
In very flowery language, shall we say. Here's Huckins. He gets pinned by Rebo. Huckins keeps on trucking. Cole Huckins comes out in front, and he sailed that one just wide. Tanner around the boards. More pressure here from UNB.
Well, UNB's had a little bit of an advantage in the other 2 4-on-4 situations. Their defense activates real quick, and they're able to keep the puck in and sustain pressure and come away with shots. That's what you need to do right now.
Going down in a pile there. That was Morgan. Don't know if he toe picked or what happened. There's Jack Duff with a shot. That got blocked by Kammerer. 42 seconds remaining in the penalty to Nole. There'll be some more ice out there for UNB. And this pace is really slowed down to a snail's pace in this one. Dubois trying to lift the stick of Perrick.
You know,
and
Peter,
offside at the line there.
If you're Queens right now, you're happy to keep that pace slow to finish out the period. If they can go into the third period with a 3-1 score right now and gain an advantage and create some kind of offense and come away with a goal, then that advantage will start to switch to them. Now, let's not forget, we've got a high, potent offense and wearing red jerseys tonight. But Queens, as we mentioned earlier, has been a bit of a dragon slayer all the way through since after the Christmas break this year.
So face off in the neutral zone. D'Amato behind his net. Here's Cody Morgan now with speed. Morgan in over the line. He'll drop it back. Huckins, he'll peel along the wall. Hutchison couldn't take it away from him and then clear down the ices. UNB, they have an abbreviated power play here. D'Amato, he'll bump it back. Huckins, has he left the ice here yet today? Centered out in front, back here for Morgan. Down low. Morgan with the return pass. Roloffs goes to the net. And that's stopped by Wickware. And we're back to even strength hockey here.
You know, there's Cody Morgan set up in his office again. He waits. He gets the screen at the net and he tries to go short side and over the shoulder. But Wickware has played that kind of a game where he's seeing those pucks and making sure he's got his body in great position. And he did just that on that because that was a quality shot by Cody Morgan.
They have leaned on Wickware very heavily in these playoffs, and it's paid off so far. Puck comes to center ice. Here's Torrance. Little delay, give him some time and space. Diagonal dump in. Jumping on it is Morton. And that's going to be offside as this game slows down a little bit here. 3:17 remaining in the second period. As you take a look at Eli Barnett, played at Vermont, was a draft pick of the San Jose Sharks. And there you see the UNB bench. They're calm, cool, collected. They've been here before.
Yeah, they're just running through their game plan right now. Yeah. They've got a comfortable lead at 3-1. Now they're rolling their lines. They've gotten out of the power play, penalty killing situation. They're down to the last 3 minutes. They want to get back to what they do well, which is get pucks deep and create offensive opportunity.
And that's what they've done on this occasion right here. They've dumped it in. Dubois knocks down his man. Roloffs was right there. Nolay took a swing at the puck to try to keep it in the zone. Here's Jax Dubois. Went to the Memorial Cup with the Peterborough Petes. Roloffs pokes at it as he battles with Cap. And out to center ice. Kammerer dumps the puck in. Both teams making some changes here. 2:37 remaining. And I wonder if the atmosphere here has affected Queens any. You know, a bigger arena, bigger stage.
You know, the one thing about that is most of these guys come out of the OHL or the Quebec Maritime Junior Hockey League. They're used to playing in buildings this size, so they can manage it. But what they don't have, for the most part, is their own home team crowd in a small building, making a lot of noise, giving them a lot of energy. So you've seen the energy go up and down based on the pace of play here. And I think that's the one difference a building like this makes in a game like today's.
Yeah, I would think if you're playing in an arena, maybe even half the size of this one in Kingston, Ontario, it would be a different feel amongst the players on the Gaels team.
100%. And the one thing is, those guys don't see anything above the glass or beyond the glass right now. It's everything within inside the boards right now that they're looking at, and that's where their focus is.
Delafontaine had to make a save there. Nothing too urgent, though.
good job by Queens putting the puck on him and testing him. He hasn't had much of a test. He's come up big on 2 of the saves so far tonight, but the other has been, for the better part, look routine for him.
Jacques Dubois to take the draw here against Hamilton. Face-off win for the Reds. And they'll just get it out of the zone. And here's Dubois. That's going to be offside at the UNB line. Yeah, so not much going on here.
The pace is really slowed down, as you say, to a snail pace right now. And right now, though, the way the puck's bouncing, if one team shoots the puck at the net, it may just take one of those funny bounces and create an opportunity or create a goal.
There's Jack Duff. After this youth sports tournament is over, he's going to be playing pro hockey somewhere. A number of teams are interested in his services. Puck dumped in. Camera there, gets the 9-iron out and hacks it out to center ice. Justin Nolay pivots. He'll go back for it. Gave it away. Hutchison moves in. And that's a bad turnover by Justin Nolay, who's usually so reliable. He put it right on the tape with Nolan Hutchison.
The puck comes back, the defense gets pressure, and he coughs the puck right up. And Hutchison's all by himself there. And he comes in. Della LaFontaine just puts the glove up and says, I got this.
Yeah, saw it all the way. He's played a lot of hockey this season. Remy Delafontaine, and the main man between the pipes for UNB. Try this face-off again to the left of Remy Delafontaine. 1:36 remaining in the second. Off the scramble. Tanner couldn't get to it. And that puck goes out of play.
You know, Peter, I don't want to say this too early, but if you take a look at this game right now, the score is 3-1, and I can count 4 scoring opportunities where the puck was on the Gaels' sticks, and there was an opportunity to bury, and it just didn't happen. And that sometimes is the difference in a game. But in a game like tonight, you have to take advantage of those opportunities.
Yeah, they've had like maybe 2 or 3 good looks, as you said. I mean, you get one of those, it might change the whole complexion of this contest. Well, Michlich gets it over. Reds having some problems here for the first time in this game, trying to get the puck out of the zone. There's a shot by Lemieux. He fanned on it. Big hit. Zlomyslik in there on the forward check. We're under a minute now in this second period. Lemieux around the boards, gave it away. Here's Cody Morgan. Cody Morgan tries to wrap around. Wickware was right there. 4-1 would be a real tough climb for this Queens team. They can't give up anything late here. Eric tried to connect on a pass at center, no good, sent back in. Here's Wickware, has to move it quickly, gave it to Huckins. Huckins looking for Roloffs in the slot. Huckins in there in a puck battle. Roloffs comes over there. Stuart Roloffs played last season in the ECHL with the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. Faber hustling after it. 9 seconds now. That puck not out of the zone. Late to the net, and that got deflected out in front. As that was Faber, and a close call there for Queens. And there were spurts there, Kevin, but really not enough that's going to affect this veteran team.
No, and what you had there is you had Queens have a couple of opportunities and a couple of missed opportunities. Then UNB comes back with their big line. Queens has a hard time containing them in the zone, and we have 35 seconds where they're holding on, doing everything they can to try and clear the zone. They coughed up the puck and gave away 3 scoring opportunities in the last 30 seconds of that period. What you're going to see, Peter, coming in the third period is a team that's got to play with desperation. Queens has nothing to lose right now. They've got to come out, play high-intensity hockey, put pucks deep, drive hard to the net, and make sure that they don't have any unnecessary forced errors in their own zone. If they can keep the puck out of their zone, get the puck in deep on the Reds, they may be able to bring this to within 1 goal. And their game plan right now would be to get that 1 goal in the first 10 minutes.
Okay, let's send it to Rob Pizzo. He's standing by with Aiden Castle.
So, Aiden, your team found a little more momentum in that second period, but you still got a big red mountain to climb for that third period. What's going to be the message in the room right now?
Probably like we did that first 10 minutes of the second there. We came out strong, put pucks on net, really put pressure on them. And, they came out strong in the first, but kind of weathered the storm there in the second. And hopefully we continue that in the third, get a couple.
You got your team on the board. Walk us through that goal.
Marburg had a great chip up on the boards there, kind of anticipated it, kind of went through the D's legs, and then quick early pass to Cap, and then slid it back over, kind of hit the pad and went in, and good to get the boys on the board and keep it going.
The pace of that period, especially the last 5 minutes or so, really slowed down to a crawl. Do you think that favors your team when you're trying to slow down an offensive powerhouse like this UNB team?
I think we can play any way we want. I mean, we're a grind team. We get pucks in deep, forecheck them hard. I think that's when we had success that period, getting pucks in deep. We can play slow, we can play fast off the rush. We had some good rush chances, but just keeping pucks in deep and forechecking hard on these D.
Thanks so much. Good luck in the third.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rob. Aiden Castle with the goal for Queens, but they are down by 2, 3-1 after 40 minutes of play. We're stepping away. We'll come back with more of our intermission report as we continue on here on CBC Jam.
Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Across Canada, it starts the same way. A love for the game that unites us all. From hometown rinks to the world stage, we rise together. Every stride, every save, every dream, shared by every girl who's ever picked up a stick.
It's her shot, rebound in front, she scores!
Because when one rises, we all rise. Rise as one.
Feel every hit, goal, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline, immersing you in the game like never before, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. We deliver unparalleled simplicity and tailor-made digital broadcasting solutions crafted to make you feel every moment in a way like never before. Our passionate team ensures your message reaches audiences reliably every time. Proudly Canadian, we bring a touch of innovation and our passion to the world stage. ISI Live, be there.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks. Just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
Queens finally got on the board in that second period. They're now down by 2, 3-1 for the UNB Reds after 40 minutes of play. Cole Huckins, unbelievable season for the Reds. He's got a goal and assist in this game. Let's spend some time now with the New Brunswick native.
Hi, I'm Cole Huckins. I play for the UNB Reds. I'm a second-year forward studying arts. It's super exciting. I think our expectation is to win. We came a long way down, and we'd love to leave with gold. That's our mentality. Yeah, it's great having guys that have been there and done it. Their advice, their leadership, it's huge in the locker room, and it kind of gives you something to strive for. And you get to hear firsthand how amazing it feels. So it's something you want to accomplish yourself. It's awesome. It's great. A lot of friends and family going to be in attendance, so I'm looking forward to getting started. Yeah, my grandmother and my family all kind of played hockey, so growing up, I was always around the rink, watching my dad, watching my uncles play. That's how I got into things. I think I'm a two-way center that transitions the puck well and, makes plays to my teammates, gives them time and space. I find it great. UNB is really good to us. They give us all the tools we need to get assignments and, be at our best both on the ice and off the ice. So it's good. Obviously, the first year is a little challenging, a change of pace from junior hockey, but once you get settled, it's amazing. It was pretty cool. You'd see them, you'd read the newspaper, the city would be buzzing about all the national championships, Gardner McDougall, all the great guys that came before us and myself. So it means a lot to put on the jersey and crest.
Partout au Canada, c'est une histoire qui se répète, née d'un amour pour un sport qui nous rassemble. Des patinoires du coin à la scène mondiale, nous avançons ensemble. Avec chaque foulée, chaque arrêt et chaque rêve qui habite toute fille qui choisit le hockey. Parce que tous ces coups de patin nous propulsent. 1, 2, 3, Canada! Ensemble, vers l'avant.
Le sport en direct sur ICTou.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est ICTou.tv.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks, just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
This isn't about just showing up. It's about what you're willing to give. It's about being a part of something bigger than yourself. The work that matters, it happens long before anyone's watching. But it's never done alone. And when it gets hard, this team's behind you. Because the biggest victories, they're the ones that we earn together.
That's embarrassing. You know, know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan. A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes. Borrow better with FIG.
There are those among us who never run away from problems. Instead, they run to them. When we never settle for the world that's been built, that's when we drive it forward towards something better. Better outcomes for clients and better futures for our communities. At Cushman & Wakefield, we believe better never settles.
Sports on CBC, presented by Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, Fox 40, Theraburn Medical Supply, Les Bag Baron Rings, BioSteel, APAR, and by Steel Mazda.
Welcome back to Halifax. There you see the scoreline. UNB with a 3-1 lead over Queens as Queens trying to mount a comeback. Let's show you some numbers after 40 minutes of play here between these two teams. And shots on net, that's 14 total for Queens. That's got to be up quite a bit.
Well, they've got to do something about that part of the game and the shot clock in the third period if they want to climb back in any kind of contention here.
There you see the face-off battle in favor of UNB. And Queens trying to get something going. Let's take a look at the highlights so far. Most of the big highlights in the first period.
Here we have Huckins dropping down, and he's got Morgan coming in. What a beautiful play. Looked like a set play. They said they hadn't practiced it much, but I'm not so sure. And then Morgan set up in his office, and then we got Huckins driving down on that rebound. So off the back pad and right onto his blade. Then we come down, we got that drop pass right on his stick. Beats the goalie. No opportunity there for Wickware to make a save on that. Castle comes back, gives it to Cab back to Castle, boom. He's got Delafontaine with his legs stretched out. No opportunity. And here's Wickware again. He's got that canoe paddle down there, and he just swipes at it and propels it out of the net. Not sure how he saw that, how he did that, or if that's something he's been practicing during the season.
And Wickware, he's a battler, and he's going to have to battle in this third period. He needs some goal support. Queens down by 2.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan. A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes. Borrow better with FIG.
There are those among us who never run away from problems. Instead, they run to them. When we never settle for the world that's been built, that's when we drive it forward towards something better. Better outcomes for clients and better futures for our communities. At Cushman & Wakefield, we believe better never settles.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe, no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back. There you see the harbor front here in Halifax as we welcome you back inside Scotiabank Centre in downtown Halifax. There you see the score 3-1 for UNB over Queens. Peter Ruttgazer alongside Kevin Thigsby, and I'm thinking the first 5 minutes here, Queens, they got to get something going. They got to try to put this UNB team on their heels.
Well, Queens can't panic right now, but what they've got to do is come out in overdrive. Got to get a puck deep, got to create a scoring opportunity. Their game plan right now should be to come out, keep UNB off the scoreboard, and try and close that gap in the first 10 minutes and make it 3-2, and then do everything you can in the last 10 minutes of the game and play with desperation.
So about ready to get going here. I think we need to get some lights on the ice here. As that's why we have the delay. And again, UNB, they're going to start with Huckins, Morgan, and Torrance on the flanks. You know, when Rob Henniger was recruiting Luke Torrance, talked to the coaching staff right there, and they told him that, listen, this guy Torrance, come March, April, he takes it up a couple of levels, and he has done that here in the playoffs. I mean, in this postseason, I mean, he has 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points coming into this game. So he has some energy, and I'm sure over the years you've been coaching, there's guys that are like that. Come, you know, go time, money time, they take it up a level.
Well, you've got some guys that play consistent hockey all throughout the season, but then when it comes to that playoff time, they seem to find another gear. They're able to notch it up. They're able to ramp it up. And sometimes those are the guys that pull other guys behind them to a different level, which elevates your team on to success come playoff time.
So they're resetting the lights now. Still looks a little dim down there at center ice, doesn't it? So we'll have a little bit of a delay here. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing for Queens, because I'm sure they'd like to get things going here.
They've come out chomping at the bit, wanting to get started. This doesn't help them. Right now, UNB's coming out saying, okay, it's the opening face-off. We're going to establish our game plan. But Queens wants to win this draw, get it back, make that pass on the other side of the blue line, either side of the red line, and get it deep over that blue line and try and create something and get some high energy going on the first shift in their first drive.
Just saw number 19, Nolan Hutchison, scored the OT winner in the OUA bronze medal game against TMU to punch their ticket for Halifax. And he's from the same hometown as Coach Gibson. He's from Gananoque. And Coach Gibson, when I was talking to him the other day, I've known Nolan Hutchison since he was 5 years old. So they go back a long way.
Yeah, and I asked him about that goal against TMU, the overtime goal to get them here. And he said he had no doubt when he put him out on the ice that he was the guy that might be able to end it for them. And he certainly did that.
You know what Colton Kammerer is to UNB, Nolan Hutchison is to, you know, Queens. A very instrumental leader, a player that when he speaks, you've got to listen to him. So we're going to get going here. The lights are not fully on. So we'll see if that can get fixed. Puck sent in, no icing. This is Hamilton. He'll play it to the flank. Renwick, he'll dump the puck in. Johnson trying to get in there on the forecheck. Comes around the boards, deflected out of the zone. And now back forward is Renwick. He's been the offensive leader from the blue line for this Queens team. Long stretch pass. And Johnson couldn't get to it. It's going to be an icing call against the Gaels.
Well, those are the kind of plays that Queens has to do right now. They have to get a guy in behind the defense. Got to tip that puck to make sure it's not an icing, and then have to be first on the puck in the offensive zone.
There you see Zeb Johnson, first-year player. Last season in the CCHL, 93 points for the Nav and Grads. So he's got offensive potential. There's Hutchison. He'll just scoop that puck down the ice. Queens make a quick change. This is Dubois trying to get after it. Perrick around the boards. Bit of a turnover there. Jacques Dubois moving his feet here. Laid over for Perrick. Can't handle it cleanly. A shot deflected in front as Camera put it right towards the net. And Dubois was there, got a stick on that puck. Nolay, he'll backpedal inside his own zone. He finds McPhee in over the line. McPhee, his shot is blocked. Perrick tied up his man and now played to that far side. Armour dumps the puck in. And as soon as that puck gets dumped in, it's out of the D zone for UNB. Lemieux plays it ahead. Good job by McPhee to come back and back check. Off the end boards. This is Morton. Tapped into the neutral zone, but given away. And that's been a problem here, Kevin, all night long. Just connecting on passes here.
Yeah, there haven't been a lot of direct passes coming out of the zone for either team so far.
This is Cody Morgan. He'll play it up top now for Barnett. Barnett loses it, and now Castle trying to get to the puck, but can't get there in time. Delafontaine swings it around the boards. Cap tried to send it to the net as Delafontaine was making an adjustment in the crease. Barnett off the boards, not out. Duff is right there. Morgan takes it away from him. So play a little scrambly here. Approaching the 3-minute mark of this third period. Lay's just going to take his time here. Shots on net, 30-14 in favor of the Reds. Here's Searman. Camera breaks up that play, not out. Renwick moves in, fires a shot, sailed that one high and wide on the blocker side. This is Cam Baber. Baber over the line now. Weighs his options, gets it here for Dubois, or excuse me, Roloffs. There's his shot. Steered aside by the Queens goaltender. Dubois in there battling for it. There's a shot from a sharp angle. That's Roloffs. Renwick sealed that one off. Shots blocked at the line. Justin Nolay gets it in deep, and more zone time, extended zone time, easy for me to say, for the Reds, and iced once again. And tomorrow afternoon, noon Eastern, we continue on with more of the University Cup. And there you see the matchup. Windsor Lancers coming up with that big upset over Mount Royal, taking on St. Mary's. St. Mary's had themselves quite a physical battle with Saskatchewan. Tomato behind his net. Just played that puck to center ice. Cleared off to the wing. Marburg is right there. He can't control it. Bruce looking for it, hit him in the back, and now McPhee moves on in. McPhee put that one well wide, kept in by Savoie. Batesian is there. And now it comes out between the two blue lines. The model sends it right back in. Quick change here for UNB. Rebo takes his time to come up from behind the net. Over here now for Larman. Larman, he puts it on the mark, and again, a shot on net, but it's always one and done here for Queens.
Yeah, there's no sustained pressure right now, and if you take a look at both teams right now, there's a lot of passing going on to guys that are feet are standing still right now. There's not a lot of movement on the breakouts. They're trying to get the puck to the outside, then dump it in the middle. There's been no carries so far, and right now UNB's pretty content to sit back a little bit and say, hey, you come to us and we'll stop you in the neutral zone. And then when they do get the puck, then they put sustained pressure on.
Puck bounced to center ice. Renwick got it out, sent right back in by Barnett. Yeah, they're just holding up shop basically, you know, above the circles, UNB, and they're not wasting any energy. They're not trying to chase this Gaels team looking for more goals.
That's the key point right now. UNB's managing their energy.
Right.
They're playing a little bit off their pace right now, sitting a little bit back in the neutral zone. No high pressure forecheck right now, and that's okay. They've got a 3-1 lead. The winner of this game is playing again tomorrow. So it's how you manage things in the third period right now that are going to make the difference.
Here's Larman. He moves on in. Larman got squeezed by Kammerer. Huckins in there. Goes far side, moving in is Duff. Good job by Torrance to disrupt that play. He got stick on puck, and that puck deflected. He goes out of play. Take a look at this last play here.
Got a little bit of pressure there on the half wall where it allows the Queens defenseman to step up, but he's looking for the perfect shot instead of putting the puck at the net, creating traffic, trying to get that. And all day long, if they let Delafontaine see the puck, he's going to make those saves. They got to find a way of creating some kind of traffic where he doesn't see the puck.
So it looks like the lights have completely come back on here at Scotiabank Centre. Face-off won easily by Roloffs. Roloffs down, slipped away from him, but he gets some help there. Baber was in the vicinity. Dubois battling there with Perrick. Comes back now. Kammerer sends one. Traffic in front, and Wickware has it. And I mean, that's the only way you're going to score on either one of these goalies. You've got to get right in their grill.
Yeah, the next goal I think is going to be a blue paint goal here. Queens has done a really good job though in their defensive zone with their faceoffs and being able to exit the puck. And right now is a crucial point in time for them. We're almost through that first 5 minutes. What they want to do is try and create scoring opportunities and hopefully draw a penalty and give them that advantage as well.
Get possession off the draw. Lemieux up along the wall. Castle couldn't handle it. Castle pushes it forward. Cap trying to race onto this puck. Cap. His shot's no good. Batesian. He'll just float it out of the zone. Here's Morton trying to get away from Thomas LaRouche. His uncle Steve, a great player in the American Hockey League. And that's going to be icing. And there you see Roberto Mancini. They got some real big defensemen, long reach,
and he makes a really good play keeping Cap to the outside. He gets his stick on it, loses his stick, but follows his man and makes sure that he can't pick up the rebound.
One of the foot soldiers on this UNB team. Face off to the right of Wickware. Huckins moves in. High stick there from Cap on Huckins. And now a race and chase. And Marburg thought that he got to the dot ahead of the UNB player, but it's going to be an icing call against Queens. And we've seen a lot of icings here in this third period.
Yeah, and right now the one thing Queens does not want to do is run out of time. And every time that they slow the clock down right now, they're taking opportunity away from themselves and giving an advantage to UNB. That's not what they want to be doing right now.
Huckins against Cap. Last time, Cap got his stick up high on Huckins. Here's Huckins. Tracks down the puck. I think he ticked off Cole Huckins. Here's Huckins now along the wall. Gets it for Morgan. They play it back to Mancini. Does a great job to play it off his skates. There's a shot. That bounces out in front. You've got Morton. He has no stick. And again, another icing. He knocked down Huckins again. And I think there's going to be a penalty here. No, he's just going to get his stick. And it's got to be tough if you're Delafontaine. You know, you haven't seen a lot of action. You're kind of cold.
He's cold, but he also knows right now because he's cold, he's got to focus even harder.
Right.
Like the last thing he wants to do is let his guard down when the puck comes in the zone, because a shot from anywhere right now, a deflection, it's going to make a big difference right now for Queens. So he's got to keep his focus right now, because you never know when they're going to be driving down and what's going to happen if they can create some traffic.
Castle goes cross ice. Marburg dumps it in. Cap trying to get to it, and that's going to be another icing. So that's like 3 or 4 in a row right here against Queens. They simply cannot go tape to tape.
Yeah, they've struggled with their zone exits for most of the night tonight. And what you're seeing right now is what we expected. They're trying to get the puck to the red line and get it tipped in behind the defenseman and win a foot race. The problem is they're not touching the puck on the right side of the red line.
Hitting the 7-minute mark of this third period. Cody Morgan's got 9 shots on goal in this game. So you don't have to coax him to put pucks on net.
Well, he is that spark plug on offense, and we've seen that tonight. With those 9 shots, him and Huckins have created 2 of the best goals that we've seen so far in the tournament.
A little bit of a toe pick there from Savoie. And he'll just dump it in. Nick Savoie played his junior hockey with the Quebec Ramparts. Solid defensive player. Plays some big minutes for this UNB team. Here's another guy that plays big minutes. Duff over here for Sermon. Sermon to the net. That's broken up by Nole. And now heading north is McPhee. McPhee now hesitates. Shot kicked out. Puck in the slot. LaRouche. He gets taken into the boards. LaRouche spins away trying to get to the puck. And now this is Holmes. His pass over there for Hutchison. He's on the end of the shift. He has to leave the ice. Johnson to the net, out in front. Oh, pad save. Delafontaine as he robbed Holmes. Holmes now, top of the circles. A shot, loose puck, they score! That's what Queens has been waiting for, and Johnson puts it away. And they are now down by 1 with 11:38 remaining.
You know, Peter, we were just talking about Delafontaine looking cold, but he made a fantastic save on there. But the Queens Golden Gaels stayed hard on the puck and created their own opportunity. Delafontaine gets his leg on it. Then we pick up the puck on the side. We come back into the slot, take that low, hard shot, and he doesn't know where it is. Johnson's there on the doorstep and puts the puck in behind him, and now we got ourselves a game. Queens got that goal in the first 10 minutes. That was part of their game plan, I'm sure. And now they've got to look and say, okay, now we play it 5 minutes at a time. Let's be the best team on the ice for the next 5 minutes and then see what happens.
For Zeb Johnson, that's his second goal of the playoffs. And that's a big one. Let's see now if that revs up this Gaels bench. If that doesn't do it, I don't know what will. Parrick gets physical there with Huckins. This is Tanner, plays it off the boards, wants to track it down. Cleared out of the zone by UNB. Jack Duff. Duff in over the line, it comes here. There's a shot. Zlomyslik hits the target. No problems there for Delafontaine. So you see that confidence level starting to come alive here for Queens.
And with the puck bouncing the way it is this late in the game right now, Queens has to take advantage of that and throw it at the net, throw it at the net, throw it at the net.
So So they're going to get Johnson out there and Marburg on the flanks, with Holmes taking the face-off up front. Puck is loose. There's a backhand attempt as Marburg put that one wide. And now UNB, they're reeling just a tad here. Renwick, being watched by Cam Baber. He wants to rev it up here. Good job by Baber to come back and lift the stick. Marburg taps at it. There's Holmes. Rolls to Delafontaine, and he will freeze it.
Oh, Queens has to be real careful there not to touch the goalie after the whistle, because they can't take a penalty right now, and what they need to do is try and create an opportunity for UNB to have to pull somebody down by keeping up high intensity in the offensive zone. They've got to create an opportunity for themselves by going really hard, moving the puck really quick, getting it to the net, and either creating that scoring opportunity or forcing UNB to have to take a penalty to slow them down.
Face off to the left of Delafontaine. Savoie, he airmails that one out of the zone. Torrance trying to get to it. There's Perrick. Great skating defenseman. Plays it to center for Hutchison. On here for Hamilton. Hamilton trying to get inside position and can't get to the disc. Hutchison comes in looking to get physical and now floated down the ice. So now you see UNB, they're just getting the puck out of the zone. They've lost their confidence a little bit. Here's Perrick over the line. Goes for a skate, send it to the net. Zlomyslik, he'll sling it around the boards. Here's Perrick, he stays up there. Takes a hit from Petitian. Now here's Perrick down low as he got that backdoor attempt and couldn't get good composite on it. Petitian in over the line, 71. Centers it out in front, the former Kitchener Ranger looking dangerous. Petitian, 5'7". He plays like he's 6'7". D'Amato backpedals. Being watched there by Zlomyslik. To an open wing, getting to it is D'Amato. And now this is Tanner off to the wing, deflected in. Tanner gets to a loose puck, centers it out in front. Dubois, he just clears the zone. Here's Roloffs, and they're going to call that offside as Roloffs goes hard into the boards. And let's see, Stuart Roloffs. I think he's going to be okay. We'll step away. 8:46 remaining in regulation. It's a 3-2 lead. Queens trying to fight back.
Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
So Queens head coach Brett Gibson has been behind that Golden Gaels bench for a long time. 19 years to be exact, and just last month he hit a pretty impressive milestone, coaching his 500th game for the program, only the fourth active U Sports coach to reach that milestone. Now, he came into this tournament as one of 5 coaches looking for his first University Cup win. Kevin Hamlin got his last night for St. Mary's. Gibson is 0-3, losing in the quarterfinals each time, and he's got a little bit of a mountain to climb, but this game has gotten a little bit closer. Could he get that first win today? We'll find out in under 10 minutes.
Thank you very much, Rob. What a great job he's done with this program here at Queens. Barnett dangerously in front of his net. Morton in over the line. Puck cleared by UNB. And you just see the tide turning just a little bit in favor of Queens. Morton goes back now. He'll gather it up. UNB making a change. Tolney can't hang on to the puck. Hamilton is there, and now Tolney. Tolney now trying to maneuver. He takes a heavy hit from Huckins. Puck sent in. Quick change here from the Gaels. Kammerer seeing a little bit more of the ice here in this third period as UNB try to lock things down. Giveaway now. This looks promising. There's LaRouche with a shot. That's kicked away by Wickware. Eric up along the wall. Johnson, he has the goal to make it 3-2. Get the Gaels back in this one. Eric now, he'll come back inside his own zone, weaving, twisting, turning. Plays it over for Ribot. Johnson deflects it in. Delafontaine under pressure. He's got to play it quickly. Off the window. Petitian is right there. And now Mancini. He'll gallop to center ice. D'Amato has to adjust. He'll pick it up. 7 minutes now remaining in regulation. Mancini right on the tape of Dubois. He got stood up by Renwick. Jack Duff lays it between the legs, and now the Gaels quickly out of their own zone. Here's Hutchison. Good stick by Mancini. Cap, though, able to follow up. Duff, he loaded up. Renwick, he couldn't adjust properly. He wanted to get that back scratcher going, and puck got away from him. Castle in there. He opened things up for this Gaels team on a nifty goal. And that'll be an icing call against UNB. So this is the last semifinal berth on the line. And we saw UQTR beat Moncton in strong fashion 4-0. And so UQTR, boy, what a masterclass of the way to cycle and defend. And wow, they were home and cool basically after 40 minutes of play.
They played as close to a perfect game as we've seen so far in this tournament. You know, the one thing both coaches told their players right there at the break is no turnovers. No turnovers right now.
Good job right there by Larman to come back, intercept that pass. Here's Larman. He'll loop the puck in. So Mislik, he throws ahead and once again just floated out of the zone. 5:48 now. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Time winding down here on the Gaels. But they're just down by a goal. Sent in, opposite dump in. Nolay, high glass. Down the ice. Renwick has to go back and retrieve it. Almost too many men on the ice there. That was another close one for UNB. They started this game off with too many men on the ice. Here's McPhee now, as he tried to get LaRouche, who was going towards the net. Back the other way with speed. This is Holmes over here. Johnson with a shot and a glove save by Delafontaine.
Delafontaine were certainly dialed in on this. So Queens comes down the middle, chips the puck to the outside, and then Johnson waits for the defenseman and tries to go far side on Delafontaine. But as I said, he's dialed in right now.
Seb Johnson, 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points in 9 playoff games. Puck sent down the ice. Petitian on his horse trying to get after it, but that's going to be icing against UNB. And there you see Jack Duff. What a solid D-man he is. Had a chance to talk to him during the press conference before the tournament started. And he gave a lot of praise to Tanner Wickware, and he said, hey, listen, I'm not fooling anybody by not saying that we're here because of him.
You know, when you get that kind of accolade from a veteran player and a leader like that, that really gives you a lot more confidence going into a tournament like this.
Cross ice feed. This is roll-offs. He got it poked away from him. Here's Dubois, moves in. Dubois, he scores! My goodness! That was a Jackson Pollock, because Jax Dubois just painted a masterpiece there. And it's now 4-2 for UNB. Whoa.
There's our first look, but Dubois picks up the puck high and he just knits the two defensemen a sweater, and then he finds a way to, with a head fake, he moved Wickware one way and then found the way to slide it through. Almost like it was going to roll off his blade of his stick. Wickware moved his right leg and then he pulled it back, slid it right in between the wickets.
Hands of a surgeon. Jax Dubois. 9 goals, 9 assists during the regular season. That's his 3rd goal of the postseason. And we got a whistle here, and I think the clock has struck 12 for this Queens team.
Well, I tell you what you just saw there from UNB is what good teams do in those situations. It's a 3-2 game. UNB's had the better of the play, winning the shot clock easily, and then they went in and said, yeah, we're not giving this one up.
Time winding down here, 4:33 left in regulation. And the Gaels, they need a little bit of a miracle. Morgan, he'll get it in. Cody Morgan, wow, what a monster game. You need your veterans to step up, and he definitely stepped up in this one. Duff can't get a hold of that puck. Here's Cam Baber. Center ice and in. Wickware can't trap it behind the net. Marburg down the wing, surrounded by Reds. He gets cut off there by Nick Savoie. Shots on net now, 37-20 in favor of the Reds. Here's McPhee coming off the flank, and that went up high on Wickware, able to fight it off. Big hit in the corner. And now played forward for Perikin. Batisian stepped up on him. As I mentioned before, they call him the Armenian strongman. And here's a 3-on-1 opportunity. Over for Batisian, and he scores. And the Armenian strongman strikes. And it's now 5-2. And just like that, bam, bam, UNB have taken control back again of this hockey game.
UNB made the decision to leave no doubt in that last 3 minutes of the game here. These last 2 minutes since it got 3-2, they've been finding a way to ramp up their play. And Batisian was just perfectly waiting, and then boom. Just when the puck came, he knew he had Wickwire sliding across. That's the second goal in 1:29 for UNB. And you want to talk about a strong finish, that's what you need to do if you want to move on to the Canadian National Championship.
Michael Batisian, he doesn't drink decaf.
He's a high-octane player.
Yes, he is.
Has been from the drop of the puck tonight.
3:12 now remaining in this one, and the Reds, they've got a date with Trois-Rivières coming up in the semifinals tomorrow. And that is going to be a very interesting game. I mean, a lot of talent. They're both very strong, structured hockey teams. And, boy, that's going to be a treat.
Well, that's going to be a very high-octane game. Both teams can skate. Both teams have offense. Both teams like to get the puck down deep and cycle and attack the net off the cycle and off the side. We saw that this afternoon with UQTR, and we've seen that tonight from UNB. And now they're going to go head-to-head.
So that'll be a nice one tomorrow. Watch that on CBC Gem. And hey, don't take anything away from this Queens team. I mean, they have had to battle, as I mentioned before, at least starting 2 weeks before the OUA playoffs. That was their playoffs. They had to try to find a way to get in, and they got in by the skin of their teeth, and boy, they upset some big teams.
You know, they've been in this game for 56 minutes. You know, they had 3-2 with 4 minutes to go, and then the UNB offense just explodes. You know, that last goal from Baptisian was textbook. Just waited, got in the right position, feather the pass across, and it's like they do every day in practice. Yeah. He made no mistake. He buried it. He had Wickware just moving across, and just when the legs were open, boom, he buried that puck.
You know, I remember before Rob Henniker came on board and became the head coach, he was assistant coach under Gardner McDougall. I remember being in Gardner McDougall's office many a time, and he'd talk about, hey, we have to practice with purpose. We have to practice like we play. You've heard that old saying. And this team, they execute so perfectly.
Yeah. And the beauty of university hockey is they practice every day.
Right.
And those guys get to know each other over a 3 or 4 year time period when they're playing together. And you get into a big game situation like this, and those passes become natural.
2:16 now left in this one. Carruthers out there, throws a hit. There's Tanner. He gave it away. Carruthers, he'll motor to center ice, dumps it in, and they'll change.
And Queens is going to battle right down to that last second here.
Played in, not out of the zone. And now finally comes up between the two blue lines. There's Petitian again. He does not
in
quit.
on it.
Yeah. Savoie with a shot he just missed on the Trapper side. Barnett takes a couple of whacks at it. He's got to backtrack in the neutral zone. Here's Petitian. Over here for Savoie, and he'll just loop that puck out. This UNB team, I mean, they get some real good players when they recruit.
You know, the one thing you got to look at with the Queens Gaels is there's a lot of pride in that program. You're down under a minute now, and you got Cody Johnson out there blocking shots in a 5-2 game.
Under a minute now in this one, and the season will come to an end for the Gaels, but they need to be very proud of what they've been able to do this season. A lot of fight in that dressing room. Knocked off Concordia, your old school. I mean, I was sure that Concordia was going to advance a little bit further, but whatever reason, this Queens team, they got their mojo going, and they knocked off a real good Concordia Stingers team.
You know, when I talked to Marc-Andre Element, the head coach at Concordia, he told me, he said, Queens had no quit, and they had Wickware.
Yeah.
And he said that was the difference. We got down to 3 games with them, and he was the difference maker, and their no quit through those first 2 games was what made that difference going into game 3.
And you got to remember, against Trois-Rivières, they won the first game of that matchup, and I'm going, whoa, hold on a second here. This team is going to beat, you know, Trois-Rivières. Now, it ended up that Trois-Rivières, they got their game in order and won games 2 and 3, but they gave the Patriots a little bit of a scare.
Well, you look what they did. They make the playoffs right at the end of the season. Then they come up against number 3 and they win that series. Then they come up against number 1 and they win that series. Then they go in and they win the first game against the number 2 team in the final.
Hello, Cinderella.
Yeah.
But the clock is going to hit 12 here for Queens. Hamilton along the wall, and that puck sent down the ice. And that is going to do it. The UNB Reds will head to the semifinals. They'll take on Three Rivers, and they'll get an opportunity to head to another University Cup final. 5-2 the score. And Queens, boy, What an effort from this hockey team. You know, a little bit offensively challenged, but they found a way. And Wickware, he's disappointed, but he shouldn't be disappointed in the way he's played.
And you can see the guys coming over and consoling him because they knew he did everything he could tonight for them. They just didn't score early enough or often enough in tonight's game to beat that big red machine. The other part is, give a lot of credit to Queens. They're down to 12 seconds and they're on the cycle. Still trying to score a goal and move it from 5-2 to 5-3, knowing that the game is over, but still playing with that pride that's propelled them through the playoffs and into the University Cup.
I'm looking to my right here, number 19, Nolan Hutchison, the leader, fifth-year player. Everybody's coming over to him, giving him a hug. Yeah, what a great leader, and he will be missed.
It's a tough thing, your last game of university hockey. You know, you're looking out there, and what you're seeing right now is a tremendous amount of respect by his teammates. And that speaks volumes. And that's what U Sport hockey does. It produces future leaders. And you see that kind of respect coming from your teammates. You know you've made an impact and you've made a difference on a hockey program. And you've made a difference with the group of guys that you've been fortunate enough to play with.
I don't know what Nolan Hutchison is going to do after his hockey career. Is he going to play pro hockey? I don't know. But I tell you what, if he were to decide, hey, I'm just going to pump gas, he'd be one of the best gas pumpers in the world. I mean, this guy is just well-respected, hard-working. He's going to be a superstar whatever he does.
Yeah. And the one thing that university hockey does, prepares you for life.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
And you learn and hone your leadership skills when you're playing for your school.
And there you see Mancini had a strong game tonight. Barnett, two big boys on that back end for UNB. They're going to have to be well rested tomorrow. Get their sleep because that Trois Rivières Patriots team, they get on the cycle, they get on the forecheck, and they can really hurt you.
Well, we've got two high-octane hockey teams that are going to go hard against each other tomorrow night.
So let's take a look now. We're ready to get going with semifinal action. You take a look at Nolan Hutchison. So there you have it. Windsor's going to take on St. Mary's. That'll be a tough one. And UQTR against UNB. And, you know, most of the games have been fairly close here.
Yeah, there's been a lot of goaltending battles there. And even tonight with the score of 5-2, we still had a pretty good goaltending battle going on between Wickware and De La Fontaine. You know.
And you got to remember, it was 3-2, 15-minute mark of the third. And, you know, one shot in favor of Queens. And we could have a similar situation like we had last night.
Yeah, and then unfortunately, you had that errant puck that bounced out all by itself to him standing in front of the net.
Yeah.
He knitted the two defensemen a sweater and then slid it right through the wickets.
Yeah, Jax Dubois with some sweet mitts on that one.
Oh.
And it's going to be Lucas Perrick, the Nike player of the game for Queens. Had a strong game on the blue line for the Gaels.
The Nike player of the game from UNB, le joueur de match Nike de UNB, is number 4, Cole Huckins.
Cole Huckins. It's either going to be Morgan or Huckins.
Well, you knew it was going to be one of them.
Yeah.
You know.
Cole Huckins. We talk about the impact Jim Holton, the Charlottetown Islanders head coach, has had. There's another player that Jim coached with the Islanders. And you got Sermon on this side, so there's about 6 players in this tournament that Jim Holton has coached in the queue, so he knows how to develop players.
Well, he's always run a good program wherever Jimmy's gone.
And there you see some of the fans that made their way from Fredericton, from Freddie Beach. They got to be happy. And a big contingent of fans from Fredericton. So Reds will get back to the hotel, get a meal in, and get ready for tomorrow. let's go over to Rob Pizzo now. He's with Cole Hutkins. Rob?
Yeah, thank you very much, Cole. You're on to the semifinals again, but that game was just a little bit closer probably than you would have liked. When that fifth goal went in, how much of a sigh of relief did you breathe?
It was huge. It was a great play from Stewie to get over to Mike. Great finish. Obviously, credit to Queens. They're a great hockey team. This feels a lot better than last year getting past the first game, so I'm excited for game 2 and what's to come.
Your goal gave your team a little bit of insurance. Walk us through that 2-0 goal.
Yeah, it was a good power play. Morgo tried to hit Stu back door. Luckily, the puck came to me, and I was able to bury it. A little bit of luck, a little bit of skill, but well, I'll take all of it.
You don't have a lot of time. Quick turnaround, and you've got Trois-Rivières tomorrow. What are you expecting from that game, and what do you expect from that team?
I think it will be a lot like today. They're a good hockey team. They're fast. Obviously, they went deep in playoffs, and there's a reason for that. Just rest, recover, and bring our best tomorrow night.
Thanks so much. Good luck. You're not at home, but look at these fans you got here. No shirts on, UNB.
It's awesome. It's awesome. We got a great fan base. It means a lot that they're here, so we're excited to keep it going.
Good luck tomorrow.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Rob. Look at the young man with no shirt on there. What a great game here at UNB. Coming up with a big win. They got to get ready for tomorrow's game. That's going to be a classic, I think.
Quick turnaround. Rest right now, recuperate, hydrate, be prepared for high-octane hockey.
UNB wins it. They're off to the semifinals. So we'll see you tomorrow right here on CBC Gem as we continue on with more of the University Cup.
It's that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite, of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi, when you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.